Jesus says, "A pure soul has so much influence and power before my Father in heaven." March 6, 2019. Words from Jesus to Sister Clare, spoken by Jackie. Clare began, "Thank you, Lord, for touching me, an untouchable because of my sins, my leprosy. Thank you, Lord, for not tossing me out into the wilderness to go about crying, 'Unclean, unclean.' Rather, you take me to your bosom and I'm cleansed from head to toe. Yet knowing there lurks inside of me still the seeds of uncleanness. Yet each day you take me to yourself, and again I'm cleansed and revived, given back hope for a life well lived. Thank you, precious Jesus, thank you." Well, that introduction kind of gives you an idea of what I've been going through. I've been on a journey into the areas of my life that need reformation, and they are indeed large and deep-seated. Just in time for Lent, a season set apart and sanctioned for purification and giving, which is the antidote for avarice. Lent is a time to get rid of the old leaven, even as Paul wrote, "Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Christ our Passover is sacrificed for us. Therefore let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth." 1 Corinthians 5, 7 and 8. And I can see by examining my own life right now that he takes Lent very seriously. So I pass that on to you to encourage you to deny yourself during this season and do works of charity for others, and abstain from desserts and pleasing foods, as well as meat and poultry on Fridays. And Wednesdays if you want to add that to it. Fish and dairy are good substitutes. That said, here is a little more information on Lent. Lent starts on Ash Wednesday and climaxes during the Easter week. Christians remember the time when Jesus went into the desert to fast and pray, but also the focus is on giving, sacrificing for the poor, while denying ourselves. "If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself, pick up his cross, and follow me." The thing to remember, dear ones, is that this is a time of emptying, so that we can be refilled by the Spirit of God with holy things. The more we draw away from feeding the fancies of the flesh, the deader it becomes, the less influence it exerts over us, and the more we grow in sensitivity to spiritual things. So we can expect that at the end of a well-observed Lent, there will be spiritual breakthroughs, and maybe even the grace to live a far more spiritual life than what we were living. Lord, what do you have for us? Jesus began, "What an influence and power a pure soul has before my Father in heaven. Blessed are the pure of heart, for they shall see me." Dear children, this season is most necessary for you because you accumulate the toxins of the world. They cling to you like barnacles on a ship. The longer you've been in the world, the greater the buildup of attractions and distractions of the world, and the more impurity you build up. As you can see from the Gospels, even I felt the necessity of cleansing myself from 30 years of living in the world, yet not being of the world. and my mother is not of this world. Rather, she is a most heavenly woman, completely caught up in the agenda of heaven and leading others to holiness. She had quite a reputation for being very innocent and pure. As a young one, she practiced the abstinences of the temple as she was growing. Because of her tender age, she was not required to do what the priests did. However, zeal for heaven was so great in her young soul that she hungered to dwell in the heavenlies, and was given many heavenly visions that only served to make her more dedicated as she grew up. Her home had not a hint of the world, not in speech, nor in dress, nor in necessary things. All was very plain and did not attract you to itself, whereas in a palace, everything from the floor to the curtains and the furniture, lampstands, etc., is lavish and decorated in such a way that you could not walk through the palace without stopping to admire the workmanship of so many beautiful objects. You see, this beauty on earth begets a hunger for more beauty on earth, and one begins to long after fine carvings, gemstones, marble floors, silk curtains, and elaborate clothing. The most elaborate thing she ever did was my one-piece tunic. But therein lies the entire secret of her holy life. She surrounded herself with nothing other than the plainest pots and bowls, mats and utensils. She had no longing for these things because she starved it out of her soul. Anne and Joachim. Her parents also lived an austere life, because their hearts were very much turned heavenward. They had lived and seen so much of the world, it had no appeal to them at all. And this is why I came to earth in poverty. There was nothing in my appearing that would appeal to the carnal man. It would be the shepherds, fishermen, and carpenters that were attracted to me, because their hearts were empty of the desires and glories of man on earth. Substance is everything. The outer appearance means nothing if the inside is not godly. And so I began my ministry by depriving my flesh so it would let go of the accumulated sights and sounds of the past, wanting only to be free of all earthly entanglements. This cleansing subdued my flesh so I could be more deeply united with my Father. Truly, the flesh is a briar patch, and you cannot walk through this world without attracting thorns and thistles to yourself, and this time completely apart from human and worldly consolations, broadened the space of my flesh to receive more and more of the Spirit. In other words, I think his meaning here, that his flesh was under the control of his spirit more and more. Jesus continued, "That is why this spring cleansing has so much spiritual significance. My dear ones, I wish to fill you more and more. I wish to direct your lives out of this world and into the world soon to come. Just as I led the Israelites out of the abundance of exotic foods into the desert with only manna to eat. It was to be a cleansing from the accumulated toxins of the Egyptian culture with all its idols. There I tested and tried the people to see if they were worthy to enter the promised land. Your promised land is the realm of heaven, and I'm preparing you for the journey homeward. Yet, there is work to be done on earth, and each of you need a new vision in understanding, equipping, and opportunities to leave the very best of yourselves behind, to nourish those yet to enter the kingdom. So I'm coming to you to entreat you to observe the Lenten fasts to the best of your ability, while steadily looking forward to the new infillings and equippings I will infuse into your souls as you make more and more room for me. For some of you, this will be very difficult. Clare, my darling, I know you fear these challenges, yet I will help you, all of you. Call out to me when you struggle, and I will gently lead you out of your trial. For all of you heart dwellers, I exhort you to do your best, knowing that for each pleasing morsel you give up, I have spiritual gifts and mantles accumulating for you, which I have longed to lavish on you, my beautiful brides.